But NFG looked also very strong. They had to go up against Iceborne Winterskew in their groups, who's obviously an extremely strong team as well. So you can't really nag them too much for dropping a couple games to them. But how do you think they're going to shake up today?
I mean, all these teams had very like convincing performances in groups, right? Like, we did see like the sort of structure of one team being ahead of the other and being ahead of the other. But even so, we did end up seeing Team 200. We saw some teams end up dropping games to some teams that we thought were below them. So hopefully, these teams are a lot closer than we expect, and we'll be seeing a fun series.
Yeah, for sure. Taking a look at the first bands coming off the table will be Thresh, Kane, as well as Samira and Lucian. So not any of these bands actually 100% jumping out to me as stuff we've seen from group stage. I don't know how you're feeling about that.
Definitely. I mean, all of these bands are kind of orthodox, especially the Lucian and the Samira. Both of those champions are very strong. So seeing NFG just taking that off the board, making sure that Team 200 Years can't have a very strong B1 pick. And otherwise, yeah, I mean, very luxury bands from the side of Team 200 Years, just getting rid of the stuff that they don't want to deal with.
As we do see Jin being locked in, also Lulu, a pick that we were seeing quite highly prioritized by the teams in this tournament so far. Not necessarily something you see consistently in other leagues and other games, but so far in the ALS end of season tournament, Lulu has been high priority, and she's also going to be taken off the table.
Definitely. I mean, Lulu can be flexed to like all three lanes, right? You can see we've seen Lulu support, a lot of Lulu top priority.
Lulu top, yeah, we saw Xerath.
Definitely some degenerate stuff going on there. Lulu mid, I don't know if that's been played in the tournament, but I do know that that's quite the strong pick if you do utilize that well. And Graves and Ezreal will be the responses from NFG to this gen.
Yeah, and we've seen some Graves games so far. We saw, actually, I believe it was the jungler for Monkey Flip trying to play Graves into Gen Sniper, and didn't work out for him too well, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. It was Starflash, the Starflash, the jungler, and it didn't work out so well, and it was into a Lilia, I believe, on Gen Sniper, so it'll be interesting to see if he's going to have a different result in that.
We'll have to see if the results end up being any similar, but yeah, I mean, this is going to be, I feel like a very, kind of a battle of the junglers, right, because Gen Snipers look so insanely strong, and we'll have to see if One Hand is going to be able to, match up to some of the power coming out from him.
And that was the one way that 200 Years had did get beat, is usually they were beating Monkey Flip in that jungle role, like you're saying. Starflash was a huge part of Monkey Flip, but Gen Sniper GF was able to get the one-up on him in most of their games that they played in the group. So, yeah, definitely gonna need to keep your eyes open onto this jungle matchup for sure when we get in the game.
And Vladimir and Akali are both locked in, B3 and B3. So both of those champions can be flexed into both top and mid. So we'll have to see if the flex power is used. But otherwise, both pretty great picks. Vladimir, always a threat, can just scale up to be that late game abomination, and Akali's always fun to watch.
Yeah, Vladimir is definitely looking pretty strong being locked in here. I'm very interested to see how they round out the rest of their team comp. We'll have to wait till after the second ban phase comes through here, as Shen and Leona have both been taken off the table as well. NFG Esports not trying to see Xerath on the Shen, not trying to have that global map presence, as they do ban off Kayle.
So those two bans just tell me that they're trying to make sure that Xerath can't have this crazy impact like he's been having in some other games. And also it's telling me that they're confident that Akali is going to be locked in for Tuesday, right? Because they're basically paying no attention to mid lane, so right now we do see some priority mid laners are left up, and that's because we're seeing NFG is just confident that they're probably going to leave this Akali up for Tuesday. Which, I mean, fair enough, but they are going to, if Team 200 Years can't just use this flex pick, just give it over to Xerath, Tuesday will have just his pick of the mid lane pool here, if he does want to do that.
Yeah, and also we are gonna NFG will definitely get the last pick in the draft. So looks like they will be potentially saving that counter pick option, but we're gonna see what Team 200 Years decides to do.
Yeah, and I mean, with this draft, they already have so much, and the Vladimir is just so strong because you can basically get your pick of the. You can pick which one of these solo lanes you want to go into, right? Because Mictif and Zarkana can both play this champion, I'd imagine, and they can both probably do well on it. So now they get to pick, do they want to play, who wants to play Vladimir into which one of these champions, right?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, looks like Alistar is going to be locked in. Some switch at the final seconds, which they do intend to do, and it's going to be Pantheon?
Pantheon support, probably.
That is an interesting last-second switch, I would say. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, Pantheon support is such a strong champion, right? You know, we saw the Janna hover and then switched up for something more aggressive and fun to watch, which is always something I like. No offense to Jannas, but I'll take a Pantheon lane over a Janna lane every day.
Yeah, and this is something that I would expect to see out of Team 200 Years. They have a couple of their games that played in groups. You know, they're playing their own things. They blinded Kale top, I believe. They've played Lulu top. You know, not afraid to whip out some of these less, 100% straightforward things. Switching into the Pantheon support is not something I'm surprised to see here, coming from 200 Years.
Definitely, I mean, it is quite the switch, but it's also like a pretty justified switch, I'd say, because it does fit very well into this comp. You know, you have a very strong pick comp. You have so many pick tools with the sleep. If you are able to just get a Kali in there, just popping in with that perfect execution, there's just so much pick off potential here in this draft that the Pantheon support was just a great move. You know, you get in there with the Grand Starfall. If Lilia can get that Lilting Lullaby, you're basically just gone, right?
But also to take a look at the comp for NFG Esports, it's looking pretty solid over there as well. You do have that Orange solid in that top lane. Graves, Vladimir, Rakan, lots of engage, lots of scaling on the side of NFG Esports. And quite the team fight.
I mean, yeah, definitely both of these comps very strong. The stronger team fight comp is, of course, going to be the side of NFG most likely. You know, this Rakan engage, this Ornn engage, always going to be really strong. And while the side of Team 200 Years does have the engage that the Pantheon does provide with that shield vault, you could get a Lilting Lullaby, maybe. The Deadly Flourish, you know, there is just going to be so much engage advantage on the side of NFG Esports with this comp that it'll be interesting to see if we'll be able to see Team 200 Years start any fights on their terms, or if NFG is just going to take control and not take any fights they don't need to be taking.
We touched on this a little bit with the jungle matchup. Obviously, Gen Sniper has been playing like an absolute monster so far in this tournament. But taking a little bit of shift from the end game, looking at the earlier game side, we've seen 200 Years kind of finesse their way into a couple leads early on, even when the level 1 plays, picking up some early first bloods. And so if you're NFG Esports here, it's also, I think it'd be very pivotal not to fall behind early on this grid. If you're one-han, you don't want to get invaded on, or you want to make sure you do a good rollout. You don't want to end up dying level 1 to Gen Sniper, because we saw that happen in a couple of these games in the group stages, and it's really not the way you need to start this game.
Definitely, I mean, 200 Years. It's also important to make sure that you can shut down Gen Sniper as much as you can, because in these, for example, in the game that they did end up losing to Monkey Flip, right? Gen Sniper was so much of this comeback that they started to have. It was him and Zerth just roaming around being this murder duo, and just basically deleting the gold lead that Team Monkey Flip had picked up. So it'll be interesting to see if something like that does happen, if they do end up falling behind.
Well, Jakuno, we didn't have time to do series predictions before our production started today. So, real quick here, who do you see taking down this series? And furthermore, who do you see taking down Game 1?
Well, for Game 1, I think I'm going to have to give it to NFG Esports. This draft, I just like it a lot more. But for the whole tournament, this is actually a tough one, but I'll have to see how Game 1 looks. But so far, I'm thinking that Team 200 Years might be the one that's going to take this. It's going to take this series. They've looked so commanding in the games that they played, and even though they did end up losing one of them, compared to the they did end up losing one to Monkey Flip. This game did look pretty close, even if they did lose.
That's fair. That's fair. I actually am also gonna go with NFG Esports for Game 1, just because I think they've while they did drop a couple games to Iceborne in their groups, they look like a well-oiled unit together. And I said again, I really like this comp. I really think that this game is not going to be decided super early as long as Gen Sniper doesn't completely snowball this game. And I think that this could end up going past 30-35 minutes, and we could see an NFG Esports victory. But I do think that my series prediction is going to go back to Team 200 Years as well. So we're going to see what happens. But with Game 1, we don't have to wait too long, as we are now hopping right on to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to in a few minutes, in a few seconds, hopefully. But otherwise, as we're looking at the rune choices, nothing particularly out of the ordinary. The Conqueror, and the Conqueror on Denji, something that we have been seeing more and more support pantheons take. It is a pretty strong rune to take. You can proc it so quickly with it, that it is so strong in that early laning phase, and especially, even though press the attack is always nice, especially with someone like Jin who doesn't have a ton of early damage apart from that fourth shot, you want to be able to make sure to hold your own.
Also taking a look at these rollouts, we are seeing that nice 5-point start that I was talking about. We needed to see from the side of NFG not trying to let any level 1 shenanigans happen. One Han is going to spot out this invade, as he should. The flash actually coming through for the CC from Denji, chained by Jin. Gonna force the flash. Flash for flash. Should be able to reset and get back to where he needs to be. So a little bit of antics, but good job being defended here by One Han to not let this snowball happen, just like I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, great job from him spotting that out, because there's so much early power in Jin if he does take that Deadly Flourish, being able to chain that CC. But great job from him surviving that and not being caught out. But yeah, otherwise, good place from Team 200 Years, making a statement in this game that they're going to be going for some fun games.
And we've seen that, pretty similar exact scenario to that happen, where Gen Sniper is going to end up picking a first blood, or any member is going to, and One Han is going to be behind. And so, yeah, it's just so crucial that they didn't let that happen, honestly, to keep this even game state against such a strong team like 200 Years.
Because Team 200 Years, we've seen them do so much with that. We've seen them do so much with these leads, right? I keep calling back to the game that they played against Monkey Flip that they did end up losing. That game should not have been as close as it was, right? They snowballed like two or three kills on the top lane on Xerth into basically coming back from a 5k gold lead. And even though they did end up losing, they just showed us that they aren't as bad. They are able to do so much with small leads.
Yes, and they also showed us that bad things can happen when you give over 1,000 gold shutdowns to the enemy Aphelios.
Definitely, they did show us that you need to be a bit more careful with what you're doing with your shutdowns and what you're doing with your bounties.
For sure. A little bit of counter jungling here already coming in from Gen Snipers. He's going to take away these Krugs from One Han. He's kind of coming up here, going to be taking the red buff. I'm not going to spot him out just yet.
Yeah, that's what Lilius is so good at, just contesting these early camps, especially these early multi-camps. And now we're going to be seeing some fighting, perhaps, over this red buff.
Laners coming down. Xerath rotating first with the lane priority. And this red buff is going to be taken away by Gen Sniper. That one has got to hurt.
Yeah, and that's just going to be so brutal. That's just going to be so unfortunate.
That just shows you even more about how 200 Years is used to their leads. They already got priority top lane, already invading, and already trying to take away that red buff away from the jungler from NFG. You see right now Gen Sniper heading back down to protect his red buff, to try to take away the scuttle as well. If he's able to get this would be huge.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's just going to set...
oh my goodness. smites the scuttle away. One Han getting absolutely nothing he wants right now.
That feels so bad. If you're one Han, you know, Gen Sniper's just saying TY for leash and just walking away.
Yeah, for sure. And Gen Sniper just gonna go right back into his jungle, gonna pick up his red buff now. And he's feeling good, honestly.
And already we're seeing an almost 2-camp advantage from Gen Sniper, which is common in these Lilia matchups, but it's going to be snowballing very hard, so it's going to be very important to see if One Hand is going to be able to pick up any of these other camps that he is going to need to stay back in this game.
Yeah, and One Han just had to kind of reset there and walk right back to Gromp. Lilia could have also been in the area too, so didn't really want to stick around. Nothing really to do, so going to end up having to just walk back down towards his Gromp as it has now respawned, but...
And look at this. That's a huge lead. That's almost 4 camps up on... That's Gen Sniper being 4 camps up on One Hand from just using that lane priority and top side and then snowballing that into taking basically everything. That's gotta feel really bad if you're on the side of NFG Esports. Because right now, I mean... One Hand is down almost a full level and a half now. He will pick up 4 pretty soon. But yeah, I mean that's just gonna be very valuable when we start getting into these early skirmishes over these dragons or rift heralds that will be coming up very soon.
Yeah, so we should really keep our eyes here on the next couple minutes on Gen Sniper and really see where he goes with his lead on this map and where he's trying to push this. We see him now probably going to be taking the Skull Crab in the river. But yeah, where he tries to use his advantage and push this lead.
Definitely, I mean, it's going to be very important. It's going to be very important to see how he's going to use this level 6 spike that he will pick up very soon, or right now. He is a full 2 levels up, so he basically can just walk into One Hand's jungle and just be like, all of your stuff, it's mine. Because, I mean, there's no way One Hand can contest now, right? That's the full Skirmisher Saber and Fiendish Codex picked up. So when that Runic Echoes enchant is picked up, that's going to be even more power. So we'll have to see if One Hand is just able to farm his way back into this game.
And I was lucky for One Han there when Gen Sniper came sniffing around in his top jungle again, that he had already cleared out most of it. So he was just going to end up resetting. But the rest of these lanes really being quite docile and pretty even across the board. Top lane is a little bit of a discrepancy, but other than that, it's really just this jungle matchup.
Definitely, we are seeing a bit of a CS advantage on the side of Zarkana, about a wave and 1 extra creep. So nothing huge. Okay, that's a nice 4 bounce, 4 kill bounce.
Creeping in the bot lane.
Now One Hand could look for this, could also just look for that dragon, but that is what we do want to see a One Hand doing right.
Oh, mid lane, first blood actually going to be picked up as Chuday diving that turret, but it will be traded right back as he went a little bit too deep, had to take too many turret shots to get out.
Yeah, too many turret shots, but that's a synergy. That's the 2 ults working very well together, and just taking down Mikdiff and getting his flash out as well.
Oh, top lane, more action coming in. Ultimates popped. Zurith going to be forcing the flash out of Zarkana. That's going to be a reset.
Yeah, I mean, the World Ender comes out and he just does so much damage when he does hit level 6, so Zarkana doesn't respect it and does end up having to waste that summoner spell.
Gen Sniper now has rotated from the mid lane, going to be starting up this Drake, using that advantage he has as One Han went back into farm some camps up, trying to catch back up. They're going to take down the first dragon of this game. You see Denji trying to get a little bit of aggression into this jungle while he's got his teammates around. Not going to find One Han.
Yeah, that early dragon is going to be very important for this. It's going to be very important to see Gen Sniper uses that priority to just pick up that first objective. It can't really be contested. He's a full 2 levels up, so his smite is just so much stronger than One Hand. So just uses that priority and picks it up.
And One Han really has just been full clearing his jungle. As you do see lots of Graves, he's gotten a little bit behind, and he has just gone full clear after full clear, trying to get back into this game. And Gen Sniper's been doing a good job of keeping him out of it. As we do see them run into another little skirmish here. One Han forced the flash once again, but The double sleep going to be coming in from Gen Sniper. Going for the kill under the turret. Going to pick it up. Look at that damage. Not even close.
Oh, the Ezreal ult comes out, but it's not going to be enough to take down Gen Sniper. And otherwise, pretty cleanly executed play from the side of Team 200 Years. Showing us why they topped their group and we should be confident in them winning this series.
And so far, this game has been exactly as we're saying. This jungle matchup has been absolutely huge. Gen Sniper got that early lead onto One-Han, and One-Han's trying to climb back, trying to power farm his way back in this game, but Gen Sniper not having any of it, picking up that kill on him under the top turret.
Yeah, and he's just been taking over this game, you know. Again, I feel like I'm mentioning this level lead too much, but it's just crazy. A full basically a level and a half, not quite 2, but still quite the huge advantage, and especially running that Dark Harvest, right, which is going to allow Gen Sniper to snowball even harder. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if One-Han will be able to crawl his way back into this game, or if this Graves is just going to become very, very irrelevant.
The other lanes are just so dead even. It's such an interesting game state. It really just feels like Gen Sniper versus One-Han right now. Obviously, you have things going on in the background, such as, you know, you got Mitch Diff scaling up on this Vlad. Each minute that passes by, he's going to be closer and closer, you know, to that. Orin's going to be getting those ornaments of the game later, so there is that whole other aspect to think about. But as of right now, only 10 minutes into the game, Gen Sniper really doing so much work for his team. And,
you know, I noticed it for a second. I thought it was just Ezreal having picked it up. But Monkey Diff is pulling out the Manamune Jhin.
Oh, another quick fight. We see One-Han getting another beating up inside of his jungles. Gen Sniper is just continually going inside this red side.
I mean, Denji showing us the power of these Pantheon roams, right? Just shows up, gets the stun, and just takes out One-Han in his jungle, which realistically isn't his jungle anymore.
And so as long as Monkey Diff's able to be fine down here, just as I say that, he looks like he will not be fine, as it will turret dive him. So that will be the price paid, I guess, for Denji Romamp and try to make that play. But it was a good use of his ultimate and, you know, good proactive play. But just need to be a little bit more careful on the spot side until he gets able to get back down there.
Yeah, I mean, this kill is like you said, the kill on One-Han is traded for the kill on Monkey Diff, but also it's going to be traded for a lot of CS and experience being lost to the turret here, as in the top lane.
Oh yeah, mid lane as well. We can see One-Han trying to make something happen. He's 2 levels down on 2 day, but Denji's going to be there for backup. We do see the fight continuing. Both teams wanting more. Titania now coming in the backside. One-Han trying to pick up his first kill of the game, is not going to get it, but we'll pick up the kill onto Vladimir. 2 day now going to pick up a return kill. One-Han's trying to hunt down one for himself. Does pick it up there, gets on the board. Zerth a little late to the party.
Yeah, I'm good. The roam from Titania is there to just pop the quickness, get the stuns out, and take down, take those 2, pick up those kills. And, otherwise, I mean, Gen Sniper is just running over this game already. We saw him kill Zarkana in between his tier 1 and tier 2 towers. His tier 1 has already fallen to that Rift Herald. And, in the bot lane,
not going to be back bot lane enough, as his AD carry will be getting caught out once again. Definitely the one little tarnished spot of this game here for Team 200 Years would be these couple of deaths down this bot lane. Probably pretty preventable, but you know, they're still sitting on a pretty solid gold lead, so you see Gen Sniper trying to strike back down on this bot lane, but One-Han is now here for the 3v2, but Teleport is now coming in as well. Looks like Gen Sniper is not going to win the 1v3. Denji is now barely going to get taken down under the turret, and that's going to be a 2-for-1. So good playing there from the side of NFG to strike back on a rotation.
Not only that, but they get that huge shutdown on Fishbait, right? Who's looking so strong right now. He will use that extra 600 gold along with the tons of gold that he's been getting from these kills, and he'll just get closer to that spike, and already looking very dominant with this looking very strong on this Israel.
Yeah, definitely some glimmers of hope for the side of NFG. As we have already previously said, the scaling, as this game goes later, they're going to be feeling a lot better about themselves. But already 3 kills on Mitch Diff on this Vladimir, and as you said, 3 kills on Fishbait. Looking pretty confident on his champion, so Gen Sniper has been running the early game, but definitely not an insurmountable goal advantage, as NFG's definitely struck it back a couple times.
Definitely, I mean, this is exactly who you want these kills on, right? You want this Vladimir to start scaling up, get that death cap, get that, already has that Spellbinder, will get that death cap pretty soon. You want Ezreal hit that Sheen item Miramana spike as soon as he can. And I've got a quick question for you, Kinder, alright?
Shoot.
Alright. Is it Manamune or Manamune? This is a very important question.
Manamune, for sure.
Alright, good, alright.
100%.
Thank you. People just don't get it, man. They can just be objectively incorrect.
I would never look at that word and say Manamune, to be honest. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. You do see another sleep now being landed onto one Han, but he has gotten under his turret. But look at that damage coming through. But it's not going to be enough as Gen Sniper now finds himself in a bad spot, but is able to flash over the wall to safety. Denji now, though, not quite as lucky as he will be taken down, but one Han will be taken down as Chudze gets the return kill. But another 2 for 1 as another kill now is picked up for the side of... oh, but just as I spoke too soon, 2 more kills traded right back over. 3 for 2, but again, another kill picked up for NFG as they're trying to claw back into this one.
Yeah, I mean, Chudze does manage to use that second part of the perfect execution and get the execute onto Mitch Diff, but I mean, we do see Fishbait just walk up, just stroll on over and pick up those 2 kills. And he is going to be going towards that Trinity Force instead of the Iceborne Gauntlet, so he's definitely going to go for as much damage as he can today, which is definitely I feel the play, right? Because you're seeing your junglers struggling a lot to get his damage down, even though this Vladimir is very strong. He is dying quite a bit, and he won't be putting out that much damage until late game, so definitely you want to make the Sheen item spike as strong as you can, and going Triforce is definitely the biggest spike you can get here.
The gold lead still in the favor of Team 200 Years, but I feel like the momentum of this game has definitely changed a little bit. It's not quite just Gen Sniper running over the game. We've seen, as we do see him making another play, trying to continue his snowball going. Not going to pick up another kill. It feels like NFG is trying to stabilize and succeeding to a certain degree.
Definitely. I mean, they're going for these plays that they do need to be going right. They are using Gen Sniper's lead very well to just get these kills, make sure that nobody can farm safely without the risk of him just appearing and destroying you.
We'll take a brief moment here to give a huge shout out to that guy for the Twitch Prime 4 months. Huge thanks to the former Summer Split 1v1 tournament champion.
Yeah, very generous from him.
Appreciated that guy.
And otherwise, we are sort of getting into a bit of a lull state. Here. The Baron is spawning in 2 minutes, and the next dragon in 3 minutes. So that'll be those are both going to be pretty important objectives to pick up. Even though the Cloud Dragon was picked up by the side of NFG, so that soul stacking won't start until sooner. It'll be It'll definitely be something to keep our eyes on, because that's going to be a very important objective that they're going to need to fight over.
Members, one Han now bot lane, trying to pull off another gank. Monkey Diff bot pretty low, pretty quick there. Is the ultimate going to connect? Yes, Fishbait picking up the kill onto Monkey Diff.
Just barely can't flash out of the way, and the True Shot Barrage does pick up that kill.
NFG not lying down after the early jungle advantage from Gen Sniper GF. They are saying they are coming for this series win and not trying to drop game number 1.
I mean, like we said, you know, they're gonna win this first game. You know, we both predicted this first game win, and they're showing us that they're definitely gonna be getting this first game win.
I mean, yeah, they've been showing great poise to really to stagnate the snowball from Gen Sniper, as well as that comp that they drafted. They've really put themselves in a very good position here, moving into the next 10 minutes of this game to be in a good position to take down this victory, I think.
Definitely, we're seeing Fishbait just play this out super well, right? Just like playing as safe as he can, right? He is getting a bit more aggressive now, really feeling himself. But just making sure that nobody can pick up the shutdown on him, because that 1,000 gold will just be a super huge swing.
Yes, we have, again, definitely seen the power of those 1,000 gold shutdowns, but...
I feel like that's kind of the theme of this tournament, right? Like 200 years and 1,000 gold shutdowns.
We will have to see if Fishbait's able to pick up the extra 300 bounty onto himself, just to keep things interesting here. For sure.
And he's almost at completing that Miramana, so just 35 more mana, and he will have that spike, which is great because Baron and Dragon are both going to be spawning by about that time. So this is definitely a fight that I want to see Team NFG take.
Yeah, and 200 years putting a lot of pressure now into the upper side, the red side jungle, getting Fishbait out of here. Maybe diving, yeah, gonna end up diving the base there and pick up that kill. That's gonna be big for this Drake too. Now only 37 seconds. Fishbait will respawn, but will not necessarily be down at the objective in time.
Definitely, I mean, there's about a 4-second discrepancy between when he will spawn and when the dragon will spawn. And he does have boots, so he will be able to just run very quickly towards the dragon. But
lots of pings.
Gen Sniper if they can just burst this down.
Yeah, Gen Sniper now there might have found himself caught out. He's not going to be brought down though. He's going to flash over the wall. Gonna go golden, trying to stay alive. Is going to finally fall, but one Han is just behind him. Titania also going to be seeing that gray screen, and it's just an all-out brawl here, but it is going to end up being Xerath in a 1v2, trying to take this one down. Monkey Dip too low to really get close enough to help. Xerath on a mission. Ezreal, oh, he's going to pick off Monkey Dip as well, and it is going to be the difference maker. It looks like it is 1v1. Oh no, Xerath is going to barely squeak that out, but a huge ultimate there for Fishbait for sure.
The Xerath, sorry, yeah, Xerath with that healing is just, wow. We do see Fishbait does just walk down and pick up this dragon, so that's good, but that World Ender is just wild. Healing reduction is might be a good pickup here. As poor Monkey Dip, he just wanted to contribute to the fight, and Ezreal just true shot barraged him from a mile away.
Well played by Fishbait, and will definitely earn his team rather, that second dragon of the game, so yet even more going into the favor of NFG, despite Xerath picking up that 1v2.
Definitely, I mean, very well played from him to get that, but unfortunately it's too low to contest that dragon, so does end up giving up that objective.
So again, this game state's it's pretty similar to how it's been for the majority of this game after Gen Sniper really hasn't been able to do too much to continue the snowball. NFG rather, just scaling up, just trying to keep this gold deficit pretty much where it's at. Picked up that dragon, just trying to grab some more gold in the pockets of Fishbait and Mitch Diff. Get Zarkana to get those ornaments out, and it's really just they're fine with what's going on, I feel like. Yeah,
they're just playing for their spikes, right? Zarkana has hit level 14, so I believe we'll be able to start giving out some ornaments. So that's going to be something to keep our eyes on. Who's going to be getting that first?
Big play mid. Gen Sniper trying to make something happen once again, but not going to find any kills. Zarkana now coming in with the ultimate. Lands onto Monkey Dip. That's probably going to be a kill as he's just deleted. And a good job of reacting to that play by NFG, and they're now on the aggression.
Zarkana was just a bit of VM, tanking a few more tower shots than he needed to be doing. Showing us just how tanky Ornn really can be when he does pick up those items.
That's a couple times now we've seen really just an out-rotation by the side of NFG to a play that's been happening by 200 years. We've seen it also earlier bot lane. They saw a nice teleport reaction rotation as well. NFG doing a really good job really sticking in this game for sure.
Definitely. So yeah, levels we do see the Trinity Force being upgraded into that Trinity Fusion, which is a huge spike. You know, you always want to get that upgraded on Ezreal. You want to get your Sheen item upgraded if you have an Ornn, and good plays. As here, we're seeing some fighting in the mid lane.
Yeah, Xerath trying to land some knockups, trying to buy some time to get the DPS down, but Chuday gonna get dropped pretty low there. Just gonna be able to dash right on out, but
yeah, Chuday doing some damage, but just zooming around that backline, but getting caught out, getting hit by a few of those Mystic shots, and just being taken down very low.
Speaking of Mystic shots, honestly, just the damage coming out of Fishbait at this point's getting a little scary. You see any of those ultimates coming through, just doing chunks. You know, it's just it's gonna be quite difficult to deal with this at 200 years, especially as the game goes further. Especially when you throw in a Vladimir, it's gonna start getting extremely dangerous.
Definitely gonna be doing
like
quite a bit of damage. Especially when he does hit the spike, you know, has so much damage from this Miramana, Trinity Fusion, and Hexdrinker will start building with that Death Dance for even more power.
Denji walking into some place he probably did not want to walk, as One Han's gonna just pick that kill up.
Walks into fog right on out and gets caught out. And I mean, we're just seeing One Han playing this very well. You know, he did fall behind very far in these early levels, but has just started to come back. And in the bottom lane, Xerath might be in some trouble.
Yeah, Xerath being made aware of the fact that he is now surrounded by members of NFG, gonna try to use the movement speed to get out, but it's gonna be futile. It's gonna be a shutdown onto Mitch Dip, and that is definitely not what you want to have happen if you are on Team 200 Years.
Oh, Monkey Dip walking into Fog of War. Alright, so he won't be caught up, but yeah. The World Ender is popped, but he doesn't manage to get any damage on Titani.
Oh, diving this turret now. NFG trying to look for something, but the shutdown is going to come through as the curtain call landing for Monkey Diff. And now it looks like NFG is on the run. Gen Sniper pretty low, but trying to make something happen, trying to be effective. Denji going to land the stun on the Fishbait. Going to be forced to flash out. Look at the damage coming through from Fishbait. So it's going to end up being no extra kills picked up, but health bar is pretty low on both sides.
I mean, Fishbait just deleted.
Oh.
He just deleted Denji's health bar, you know.
Oh, the teleport, though. Xerath coming back in for more. He says he's back. He's trying to camp this fight. Trying to pick up the kill onto Mitch Diff. Gonna go into the pool, trying to escape. Titania so low that the health bar's Fishbait trying to pick up a kill in return, but that's gonna be 3 kills picked up.
Denji getting a bit too aggressive there and does end up dying, but 1 kill for 3 is I think 3's bigger, you know, my math isn't the best, but I think 3 is more kills, so I think that's a pretty good trade otherwise. And they do also end up picking that dragon up.
Yeah, they also tie up the dragon. This is the first play in at least 10 minutes, I'd say Team 200 Years has actually won. They made a really strong play here. It's really felt like they've been on their back feet trying to make aggressive plays happen, and NFG's been really kind of thwarting all their attempts. But this play, definitely huge from Xerath to teleport in there and clean up this fight. Pick up the dragon. Not going to get the Baron yet, but ties up the dragons and gets some more gold in their pockets.
Yeah, I mean, they find a great re-engage using this Aatrox teleport and just gets so much damage, gets those kills, and yeah. It's interesting to see, though, we are seeing, some fighting in the mid lane.
Yeah, Monkey Diff forced to flash over the wall. Not going to be of any use, though, as the ultimate coming through from One Han picks up that kill. So striking right back without much hesitation is NFG, and they're probably looking for this Baron now as the AD carry is dead.
The collateral damage comes out, takes out Monkey Diff, and now we're seeing NFG turning to the Baron.
Yeah, this is going to be a pivotal turning point in this game. I feel like if they're able to pick up this Baron, probably not going to be much Team 200 Years is going to be able to do, but Pause coming out here, going to keep us in suspense for a little while.
My heart, dude, it can't take all this drama. This is quite the game we've got on our hands here.
Well said. Quite the start to the semi-final round. NFG putting up an absolute monstrous of a fight here in game number 1 versus 200 Years. Looking to take down the win.
And one quick thing I haven't been I just noticed, because I wasn't paying... I was way too invested in these fights going down. I was paying more attention to Fishbait. Gen Sniper is up 3 levels on one hand. So that's going to make for a much better Smite if we do end up going into a Smite fight.
That is very true. A very true point. It is fair to say we've been saying One-Han's been doing a good job of sticking in this game. But it's just hard. It's hard. You look over at the number 277 there from Gen Sniper, and he's just been piling it on, though. He's just been hard farming, making aggressive plays. It's been very hard for One-Han to catch back up with the number 277. But with that being said, One-Han has been doing a good job of sticking in this game. Definitely don't want to take anything away from him, because it was a very difficult situation he was put in to start off.
I mean, ends up going down 0-2, and the engage here.
Yeah, and here's the fight now. Oh, One-Han being dropped pretty low, but gonna end up being fine. That looks like the commitment from the side of 200 years isn't quite where it needs to be, but with Xerath doesn't seem to care. He's going 1v5 mode into the team of NFG. Absolutely full HP bars. I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. Xerath, a man on a mission.
And one hand drops to the Baron. That's Baron right there.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, one hand gets a bit too aggressive, he's taken down really low, and then the Baron just takes him out.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, Xerath literally looked like there was a miscommunication. Xerath was just so deep. Maybe he was just calling for it, but he ended up just completely steamrolling NFG in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Xerath just said, like, alright, I'm just gonna delete some people, you guys have fun. And that's the power that this World Ender can have, right? Max ups your healing by so much. Already is at that tier 3, so it's almost a 100% increase here. And with this Death Stance, with this Black Cleaver, with this Syrax is going to be doing crazy damage. And we're just barely seeing healing reduction being picked up, right? The Bramble Best was there for a while on the side of Zarkana, but if you don't touch the Arn, he can't really start applying that. And Xerath was definitely not interested in taking out this front line for that fight. He was more invested in taking down and deleting the carries of the side of Team NFG. And we see a huge gold spike here, almost a 7k gold lead.
That just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, here in the mid lane?
I mean, this is definitely a big shift in the game state, but I feel like NFG should be able to just kind of, hopefully, fend off this this Baron and keep scaling up. That's really their objective here.
Can definitely win a fight. They aren't, even though there is this huge like gold deficit that we are seeing mainly from this Flame Horizon in the jungle. I mean, Fishbait is very strong still. Has that Maw of Memorias, has Vladimir, has the Death Crown, has the Spellbinder, has the Zonius, can just do insane damage. Especially to Xerath, who basically only has 30 magic resist from just his Death Stance, and otherwise won't be able to survive this crazy burst. And here,
the ultimate coming in now, catching out Xerath, trying to take him out as quickly as they can. This fight will succeed this time. Titania also able to get out with his life. This seems like the fight that NFG wanted to find. Fishbait able to keep putting out damage with those Qs, and this is definitely more of the fight that NFG was looking to find. Just taking Xerath out as quickly as possible, and it looked like they're able to handle the rest.
Now this is going to be probably Soul Point picked up. Unless the re-engage, the Lilting Lullaby comes out.
He wanted it. You can tell he wanted it. But...
yeah, you know, perhaps the 1v3 dream wasn't alive this time. But again, this will be Soul Point.
Yeah, Soul Point, but good job for 200 years putting the pressure on mid lane. Gonna end up at least taking down this turret. If not, actually the inhibitor. Looks like they are gonna get scared off just before they're able to take that down.
These minions might be able to do it though. Baron empowered minions do quite a bit of damage. But now we're seeing Ornn coming in from behind.
Oh, yeah, Dart on the flank. Does not have the ultimate available quite yet, but could have it shortly if this chase does continue. Monkey Diff trying to just get on out of here, but Zarkana He's eyeing that ultimate timer. He knows it's coming up. It's going to be popped here any second, you think, but yeah, there it comes. One Han now also rejoining the fight. They're going to pick up Gen Sniper, no problem here.
Zerth is here, though.
But Zerth now, yeah, it looks like 200 Years wants more of this. Zerth trying to pull off another 1v5 performance. Doing a pretty good job, but not going to be quite enough.
The healer reduction doing so much work, though.
NFG gonna just, actually some low health bars. Today trying to come up with a hero play.
The montage
in the middle of everybody.
We'll just get 2 kills and walk away. And yeah, I mean, healing reduction doing so much work from the side of healing reduction, doing a lot of work, you know. Stops this Aatrox World Ender from being the complete and total destruct. This just drain tanking monstrosity that he can become when he does pop that ultimate.
This has been a very interesting game. Lots of back and forth. Feels like NFG at this point might finally be exactly where they want to be. Maybe this Vladimir's scaling up just enough now. These ornaments being doled out. The Baron play was a little bit of a hiccup, I feel like, but it feels like maybe this game state could be back into the hands of NFG at this point.
The gold lead has shrunk quite a bit. You know, it was the almost 7K, I believe, and now it's just around, just over 3.5K. So it has shrunk as... Okay, I thought they were going to go for a pick onto Midstiff, which would have definitely been something fun to see. But, yeah, I mean, it has shrunk quite consistently. Also, ornaments, you know, you always hear people talking about, that's almost 1,000. You get so many free stats from just the, from just those ornament upgrades that basically this gold lead is non-existent, right? Yeah, it is like, 4K from just gold, but, the ornaments, you know, the Youmuu's Wraith Blade, the Ravenon's Death Crown, the Trinity Fusion. We'll have to see if Titania does pick up something like a redemption to get upgraded. But yeah, this game is a lot closer than you might think, right? Yeah, there's the kill difference, the gold difference, the huge CS discrepancy in the jungle, but otherwise it's a lot closer. It's a reasonably close game, and definitely a great game to see as our opener.
I feel like NFG really just needs to play these team fights front to back, because if the fights have gotten corralled into these, you know, a little bit of sloppier team fights, with Zera's able to kind of just, you know, split things up, and you see Chudze coming in, flying in, picking off a couple extra people. They just really just need to play front to back, make sure you keep Fishbait alive, make sure Mitch Dips and One Han's able to put out lots of damage, and use Zarkana and Titania to really just peel everyone, keep everyone up, and I feel like they would have not too much trouble with these team fights, but we're going to see how it ends up being played out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see if Zerth is able to pull off some other drain tanky shenanigans coming up. And as we'll see, Baron is now up. Dragon will spawn in a while, in a couple of minutes.
Some explosive action soon. As you said, a minute on the Drake. Soul Point up for NFG. They're definitely going to have their eyes on that. So really... Just a matter of time here, about 60 seconds before this objective is going to be up on the map. And for contention.
But Baron's just going to be started right now.
Yeah, they're good. Interesting call here from 200 Years. Seems like NFG's kind of smelling it out a little bit though, but we see Zarkana now walking into a couple members, but not taking too much damage, looking for the re-engage. This seems a little bit forced inside of NFG. I think they should look for something a little bit better.
I mean, they do end up burning a pretty huge cooldown in the Call of the Forge God there. And it's traded for basically nothing. Just, you know, we see Team 200 Years using that Fog of War pretty well. Just being like, we could be on Baron, we could just be shredding it. And they are just doing that right now.
Yeah, back up Baron again. And that is a super quick Baron too. Fishbait is going to be here, but he's not going to be able to do much all by himself. So that's going to be Baron inside 200 Years. We see the flank, also Chudze on the back line. Keep an eye on that. Could be catching people off guards. Looking to engage here, Team 200 Years. Chudze diving the back on the Fishbait, going golden. Trying to buy some time, able to kite out the damage. so much going on in this team fight. This is the fight we were waiting for these objectives, but it looks like Team 200 Years is just absolutely running down NFG. Xerath, an absolute monster, full HP, full ace, and that is going to end up being game 1 for Team 200 Years.
Xerath being huge in this game. You know, healing reduction, couldn't do that. Healing reduction just wasn't enough this game, and just absolutely drain tanking the entire team. The wave will come in, so yeah, that's just going to be game 1, and that was a very hype first game here.
What an ending to this game. All game we were talking about how the scaling was on the side of NFG. They just want to scale up, they got the comp, but Xerath, an absolute menace in all of these team fights, just causing so many problems, staying alive way too long for the members of NFG to deal with, and really just showing that last team fight. They had the Baron, and it was just way too much. Xerath is running down the members of NFG, just an absolute monster.
Definitely. I mean, you know, once you do get that World Ender, you do get once you get that Tier 3 World Ender, that's 100% extra healing from your 100% extra self-healing, I believe. So you're just gonna destroy everybody if they don't have healing reduction, and we didn't see the side of NFG Esports picking up healing reduction until much later into this game. We only saw the Bramble Vest being picked up until much later, so he was just able to run over this game.
And this feels like a big loss for NFG Esports. Like, they're definitely the underdogs coming into this series. Team 200 Years looked so strong in groups. And they did such a good job of fighting back in this game. Gen Sniper got the early lead, and One Han really toughed it out. All of NFG did a really good job of toughing out, playing super smart, rotating really well, getting back into the game, getting scaled up, getting the ornaments, and ending up losing it here at the end in 37 minutes. Definitely it's not going to feel good. It's going to be tough for them to come back in game 2. Do you have any final thoughts on this game before we head to the break?
Well, this game definitely was a banger of a game. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else is going to happen this one.
Yeah, for sure. Luckily for us, we don't have to wait too long. Just to cut to a brief break here. We'll be right back with game number 2 of this best of 5, so don't go anywhere.